Michael Jackson, the late great Michael Jackson. I, there are no. Is something wrong with Google? Like, why are like Google images like blurry now? Farrakhan, didn't Jim Jones say it's off with your Koofy season? Yes, I have a Max B video. Max B has been released. How did Max B get home? Michael Jackson with Farrakhan and some is that Hope Flood? Why is Michael Jackson dressed like Chris Tucker in Rush Hour 2? Right? Farrakhan, why is he dressed like that too? Every image is just blurry every image is blurry. What the Michael and is this Jermaine? Is this that is Jermaine. Oh my God, Jermaine, man, he just has so much grease in his hair, just chocolate mousse cake. Simpler times. Oh, those Jacksons always had those noses. Boy, I tell you. Oh, oh man. Michael Jackson, the greatest. Well, Prince is number one, but after, James Brown. The most talented ever is Prince. Michael Jackson is the greatest, but the most talented and the best, there's a difference, is Prince. But then the most important is James Brown. So it's some variation of the three. But my God, Michael Jackson, man, he was great, but he was built like an Avon lady. To quote the late, great Simple the P, Michael Jackson was built like an Avon lady. Oh, man, the 90s. But Michael Jackson's passing is something that shook the world, and the world stopped and all that nonsense. And Michael Jackson, one of the most famous human beings in the history of Earth. And I'm not someone who talks this conspiracy stuff, but there's always been some fishy rumors about, Whitney Houston's daughter, Otis Redding, Sam Cooke, Michael Jackson, Prince. There's always, this, I don't want to say the I word, Illuminati. But one thing that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about is a potential reason Michael Jackson may have been taken out, allegedly. Oh, he owned the Beatles catalog, or he owned Eminem's catalog, or he was about to do the. But there's something else I found that may be a reason why Michael Joseph Jackson is no longer here. Yes, the man had a drug problem. I mean, who doesn't? But Jermaine Jackson, them Jacksons always had them noses, man. LaToya, Janet, him, the other one. What was the Jackson who had Centipede? Reby Jackson. But here's something I saw and I've come across. Now, this was published a year after Michael Jackson's passing. Michael Jackson passed away in, I believe it was June of 2009. And this is a year later, 2024. I mean, not 2024. June 24th, 2010. And this article says, by Praise Houston, it says, Jermaine Jackson says Islam would have saved Michael Jackson. Now, Michael Jackson was born and raised Jehovah's Witness, so on and so forth. And, at some point he got away from that, and, he started celebrating Christmas and getting with white women. So he kind of became like OJ. And Michael Jackson is someone, he had a very tumultuous life. But when you get to the 90s, this is when the tabloids are going crazy. They're saying that, he got a monkey and something happened with the monkey, and then, the whole 93 allegation with the children, and then the nose surgeries, and then, there was something about him and LaToya being the same person, and then there was what was that garbage magazine? What was that garbage magazine? What was that garbage mag? I can't remember what it was, but it was one of them tabloid magazines. It was like, the cover was like Michael Jackson and Prince have a love child or some nonsense. Oh, God. And Michael Jackson was someone who he worked himself to death. Well, I don't want to say literally, but we're talking the 90s. And I even remember in like 95, if you remember the 90s, the 90s when like people had actual talent and life was good. In the 90s, this is when like HBO and Showtime had their concerts, and those were big deals. And, they had like, it's supposed to be, I think December 95, it's supposed to be like Michael Jackson live from Madison Square Garden. But he like fainted and passed out when he was leading up to it. He was practicing so hard, wasn't getting sleep. And the man, he developed a slow drug habit that would lead him to his demise. Now, he really did have a problem. But being taken out is another story. Jermaine Jackson claims that he was trying to save Michael Jackson. This article says, Jermaine Jackson firmly believes his brother Michael would still be alive today had he just converted to Islam. Now, in the later years of Michael Jackson's life, he was, in the Middle East. Oh, Lord. He was in the Middle East. There are stories that, certain like Saudi Arabian princes were trying to hide him out. Like, people wanted to help Michael Jackson, get him out the country. There was the time where he left Neverland. He was wearing bed sheets like Jesus. And, he was hiding out in different countries, different places from, paparazzi and media and people always trying to take from him and whatever the case. And Jermaine Jackson goes on to say, speaking to the BBC World Service Radio ahead of the first anniversary Friday of Michael's passing, Jermaine Jackson, who is a Muslim, said the religion offers the peace and clarity that his brother was so desperately seeking. When you are 100% clear in your mind as to who you are and what you are and why you are and everybody around you, then things change in a way that's better for you. What a poignant statement, said Jermaine Jackson. It's just having that strength. He added, God is so powerful, Michael was studying. He was reading a lot of books because I brought him books from Saudi Arabia. I brought him books from Bahrain. Did I say it right? Bahrain? All right. I was the one who originally put him in Bahrain. Is it Bahrain or Bahrain? Whatever. He tried to run because I wanted him to get out of America. Because it was having a cherry picking time on my brother. Yeah. It's hard to put it any other way. Now, I think Michael Jackson, like I said, he did leave the country. There were points where he was out the country, things like that. I think that was the best thing he could have done. Get out of America. America's Babylon. America is the home of senseless gun violence, rainbowism, gold-digging, worthless females. It's the home of Negroes who don't wash their ass, but watch YouTube videos all day. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Share this video. America's the home of talk bad about you, but then ask you for money. America's the home of addictive personalities. You can't have just one. You can't have one blunt. You have to smoke everything. You can't have one drink. You got to take the whole bottle to the head. And escaping America for a lot of people has been very positive. And I think there are a lot of people in the last 15, 20 years who have left America in exodus and are living better lives outside of this country. There's a lot of people, and this is nothing new. But I feel like it's become not a popular thing, but I think a lot of wise people have decided to get out of America. Personally, I'm looking to leave this cesspool. I'm pretty sure I could do YouTube in another country. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm pretty sure I could do YouTube in another country and still eat off these carcasses. But myself, I'm trying to get out of America. I don't want to be around you Negroes and Puerto Ricans and you small hats. No. XDN wins anywhere on this earth. A lot of Americans have, they're in Canada, they're in Saudi Arabia. A lot of people, that Middle East. But I think that was the greatest thing for Michael Jackson, was to get out of this country and never come back. Why he came back, I don't know. If Michael Jackson would have stayed out of America, if he would have never came back to America, if he'd become a devout Muslim, He may be leaving. He may be living to this day peacefully doing yoga with Russell Simmons. Anyway, Jermaine Jackson said his brother was not against converting to Islam. He goes on, he says, all of his security became Muslims because he trusted Islam. Because these are the people who would lay their lives down and also who are trying to be the best kind of human beings that they could possibly be, not for Michael Jackson, but for Allah. So having those people around, you knew that you would be protected because it is the protection from God. And that's the end of this article. Marvin sat big ass. All right. Now, this article is more about, if he had stayed in Saudi Arabia, and he had gone there and converted to Islam and cleared his mind and having clarity from those drugs and things. And the thing about Michael Jackson, his drug problems was not, coke and heroin, and no. His drug problems were he had physical pain. He had trouble sleeping. He needed something to wake him up. He needed something to go to sleep. That was his drug issue. Every drug addiction is not the same. This is not a fiend, on his knees slurping for rocks. Like, no. He had physical ailments. And if he would have stayed in the Middle East, if he would have stayed in Saudi Arabia, if he went to Germany, France, and many places, the UK, well, I don't know the UK, at many places, and he would have been secluded. And Michael Jackson was a loner and an introvert in a way, like most real artists are. I think he may still be alive today. Or he would have lived till today, because he passed in 2009, it's 2025. Maybe he would have passed now as an older man, but he might have had the last 15, 16 years. Let's say Michael Jackson would have lived to 2025, but he would have lived in Saudi Arabia and been a Muslim, and he was out of the public eye. These reporters from America ain't going to fly there and look for him or whatever. And the media over there is not like it is here. Over here, they badger you. They have no respect. They're all vultures and leeches and all this type of nonsense. Luciferians. If he would have stayed in a foreign land, any of them, especially Saudi Arabia, became a devout Muslim, I think he would have had great mental clarity. And let's say he did that in 2009, and let's say he passed away in 2025. He would have lived the last 15, 16 years of his life in a very peaceful fashion. He would have been, I think the Most High would have been pleased with him. And I don't know if he would have raised his kids there or whatever, but he would have had the peace and quiet that he was desiring in the 80s and the 90s and 2000s. The American public killed Michael Jackson. You don't need no Illuminati. You people did it. You people watching did it. You tablet people did it. Them Jacksons always had them noses. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think this would have saved Michael Jackson's life? Do you think that this would have been a positive for him? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Rest the soul of Michael. I keep wanting to say Michael Jeffrey, but that's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. There's too many MJs. You got Magic Johnson. Have you seen his son? Jesus Christ. Magic Johnson's son. He's doing a different type of rebounding. Wrong channel. But Magic Johnson. What was the track? What was the track and field guy from like '98? What was his name? He was another MJ. Something about people with the MJ initials. Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. Who was the other guy? Somebody in the comments will say it. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this would have saved Michael Jackson's life? This would have been the positive that he needed, because when he was towards the end, he was back with them people, ready to do this This Is It world tour. When they announced the tour, he looked like a ghost in a Skeletor on stage. Jesus Christ. Was Michael Jackson wearing a lace front back in 2009? He was back. If he was changing his life, let's say Michael Jackson, because I assume this Jermaine Jackson article, this is like 2007, 2008. But let's say Michael Jackson said, okay, well, Jermaine, Jermaine, I'm gonna go back to America so I can, do the spin move again, and okay, so he goes right back into working like a madman, because Michael Jackson's a perfectionist, and Michael Jackson type of person. He's gonna work all day until he get these steps right. He will sleep 3 hours, get up and do it again. And you can do that when you're 21. You can do that when you're 17. You can do that when you may be 30. You can't have that type of schedule when you 50, 60. You can't have that type of schedule when you're 45. And he needed this and that to get him up and put him back down to sleep. And there was a gentleman named Conrad Murray who, he did his job. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the like button. Share. Did this video just get dark? Hold on. Did this video just get dark? I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Did this video just get dark as hell? Man, XDN wins, man. I'm up out of here, man. I can't see. Man, good Lord. I'm like Biggie complexion right now. If you want to support the channel, you can donate to the Cash App. It's $XDN online. Many of my uploads come from people who donated and told me what they want the video to be about. If you like to decide what I speak about on this channel, you can donate to XDN online on the Cash App and just say what you want your video to be about. Man, I'm blacker than Biggie in this mother. Oh my gosh, Shabba Ram, Black Child. He stabbed 50 Cent. I'm up out of here, and that is it.